So last weekend, I decided to go to the Justice for J6 rally in Washington, D.C. What it was is a bunch of people protesting the arrests of the insurrectionists that stormed the Capitol on January 6th. It was wild. I saw some new people, some people I've interviewed before, and some of the craziest characters that I've ever talked to. Come check out what I saw. Why are you here today?
Just to be visible, to make it clear that the American government has been overthrown in a fascist coup. The people being held were arrested illegally and are being held unconstitutionally without bail for an indeterminate amount of time. This is the primary title. This is think of it like a subtitle.
Called the Ballad of Ashley Babbitt.
Subtitle. That's a subtitle. Okay. There are many heroes, great heroes of fame. We look to the past and remember their names. In good times we praise them, but in the long night, remember how they once turned darkness to light. Many of them being tortured with extended solitary confinement, which is against the Nuremberg Code.
So you would consider that torture?
Well, it says so in the Nuremberg Code. Now the people with nearly identical ideologies to the Nazis have taken over in America, and of course they are not following the Nuremberg Code.
And which are those people that have Nazi beliefs?
The majority of Democrats, even many so-called Republicans, as well as their friends and family in big banking, in the media, big tech.
They're Nazis.
Their ideology is nearly identical.
Anders, tell us what you're doing here today.
I'm here today on behalf of the more than 600 Americans who have been charged in connection with the January 6th events.
Why do you think they're being treated unfairly?
When you look at the offenses they're charged with, they are not actually violent offenses. The footage shows that police opened the doors and many of the protesters just walked right in.
We can't even go into a friggin' restaurant.
I know.
Without being ID'd. Fuck you. Then you're not having my business, and I'm going to come back and do a sit-in.
You can't tell me when to get a cheeseburger.
Yeah, you can't tell. I don't even want your cheeseburger, but I'll order it.
Yeah.
But you know what we learned? Call up and say we're a party of 20 coming in at 6, and no show.
So you like DeSantis?
Yeah, come over to New York. We need to get rid of. We took out Cuomo to replace him with another hat, a bigger hat. Cuomo, 16,000 granny killer, the nice guy.
No, you could swear on here.
I can curse? Okay, good. That motherfucker. That motherfucker. Yeah, like from Brooklyn accent.
Hear me out. When people entered the Capitol building, they did bring weapons that are illegal in D.C.
I doubt. And there might have been a pocket knife here, and the bear spray is an Antifa thing. I'm really overdue for a cold beer right now. These guys are between me and my beer right now.
So Harrison, you running for office?
Yes, I am.
What's your slogan?
Make America laugh, keep America laughing, defund your butthole by 75%. If you ain't laughing, you ain't living. What Joe Biden say? You ain't black if you don't vote for me.
Yeah.
That's my slogan.
Biden's got a couple of lines.
Yeah, but I haven't heard him talk much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember he was like, poor kids are just as smart and talented as white kids.
I remember this.
So Mike, tell us why you're here today. Tell us why you're so passionate about this cause.
Those people in that building right there aren't doing their job. Very simple. As an American, I was told, and I'm not a political science major, never went to law school, but it's my understanding that we have rights and freedoms in this country. If you're accused of a crime, and there's a process, and the people who were here on January 6th and whatever happened, I don't know. I don't have a real strong opinion about that. But it's my understanding that those people are being held in a box and they haven't had access to that process. We've seen for almost 2 years now groups of people who have very obviously committed crimes, some of them pretty serious in my opinion, and they haven't been held accountable.
What rights do you feel they're not having access to?
Due process, except from what I've heard. I'm not there. Like I said, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not their family. I haven't been on the inside. So I'm here to show support. But I don't know what the specifics of the case is. I'll admit that. So I'm not going to sit here and argue one way or the other.
All Americans need to relax, unscrew their buttholes, untighten, unwind, take a break. Yeah, breathe a little bit. Breathing's off. Too many movements. Nobody's worried about the number one movement that we should all be concerned about, their bowel movements.
So why are you here today?
I'm here because the mainstream media has been suppressing the truth, and so we, the people, have to go out there and tell the people what's really going on and show the people the true narrative that they're trying to withhold and suppress from us.
I like your accent.
Yes, thank you.
Sir, what's your name?
Truth conductor.
You're the truth conductor.
Yes, sir.
So what are you here to do, conduct truth?
No, I'm trying to get people to stop hating each other, man, because they disagree.
You see what's going on here, it's not great.
Yeah. And this is the problem. This is they talking at each other, but they ain't talking to each other.
They're not talking with each other, they're not trying to hear each other.
Yeah, they're not talking to each other. They talking at each other.
Yeah.
And this is what we got to avoid, man.
So when did you decide to become the truth conductor?
I've been this since 2020.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, I sit down in front of the White House every day playing music. When I do the Black History of D.C. When I'm not doing tours, I'm sitting in front of the White House playing music.
That's great, man.
All right?
How do you feel about all this disagreeing, this hooting and hollering?
See, listen, man. Until we get some term limits in there, ain't nothing gonna change.
Yeah, because Pelosi and McConnell have been there
See,
for a long time.
then the two-party system will work.
Yeah.
Right now, because we don't have term limits and they in there for life, they can do what they want. Okay, not great at all. And that's what we got to do, man.
Does it sadden you to see these people yelling at each other and whatnot?
Stop hating each other because you disagree.
True conductor.
That's right.
Word assassin, he lifted his gun. He'd been given orders that he thought was fun. He picked her at random, but flinched as he shot. As she fell to the floor, he turned and ran off.
Today I'm here as co-host of this event to petition the government to release the detainees that are being held in D.C. prison right now unconstitutionally with no bail.
What is unconstitutional about the way they're being held?
Well, under the Constitution, it says that there should always be reasonable bail. No bail is the most unreasonable bail I've ever heard of. They're not being given nutritional food. They are not able to get haircuts or shave.
Isn't that supposed to be part of being in prison?
And they're being treated as domestic terrorists before they've even been convicted is completely unfair and un-American.
And why do you think they specifically are being treated unconstitutionally?
Because Joe Biden and the Justice Department that is underneath him is trying to make examples of them and trying to tell American citizens, if you disagree with us and you protest against us, this is what's going to happen to you. Yeah. You're going to be thrown in jail. The key is going to be thrown away. Nobody's going to care about you because we're going to just call you white supremacists.
So I was actually here on January 6th. I am a minister of the gospel, and I came here with different evangelists to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. And on that day, literally, there was no incitement of violence. The gallows and the things that were put up, making it look as if Trump supporters came to kill Pence was all a facade and was fake. We were not even released from Trump's speech yet.
I know when they get out here and they talk about there were only a handful of people who caused all of that. It's a lie. They were out here to do it. It was planned, and they all came with that energy to make that happen that day.
And you actually gave footage to the FBI?
Oh, yeah. Tons of it. I was out here all day from start to finish.
You had that bird's eye view.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
That's
big
wild.
time.
I interviewed you once before. It was a march in New York.
I told them we respect you, you know what I mean? It's not, we're not trying to fight with you.
Yeah.
We're trying to help you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, we're trying to open your eyes or at least think about things differently. Yeah, it was a march in New York from Union Square right to Washington Square Park.
We were marching kind of against Cuomo at the time.
Cuomo is the worst. I don't know anything about this lady except she doesn't seem to be much better. But that's like the type of leadership you get voted in New York. It's pretty bad.
Heroes, the name of renown, the name Ashley Babbitt, the whole world shall sound. Her name shall now rank with the gallant and brave, who fought like a hero our freedom to save.
So, what are you here standing up for today?
For righteousness. Yes. When you know the truth and in your heart, you need to stand up.
I love that. Yeah. That's beautiful. So what is the truth to you?
The truth is, I'm here. I was here on July 6th.
January 6th.
January 6th, yes. January 6th. Yeah. And I come from 9 o'clock to 3:30. We left because I didn't want to hit the traffic.
You left the insurrection to beat the traffic?
Yeah.
And here's something for your podcast. I seen the Walmart people that were at the food stamp cards with carts every day overflowing, the food they can't even contain it. So I finally asked one of them, I'm like, did your food stamps like go way up or something? Oh, they said, yeah, we don't even ask for it. Those food stamp cards and the money we're getting, it's flowing. Here's another thing.
You can start a restaurant with those things.
Yeah, it's so much, they can't even eat all the food. And here I am. I am paying so much money in taxes right now. It's unbelievable.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, it's peaceful.
Yeah.
Peaceful protest, and everyone. It's so cold that day.
It was cold.
I saw the family, Spanish family, whole family, baby and the little boy, and parents. They stand in the cold day and fight for the truth, the righteousness, the election for. Yeah.
What do you like about President Trump?
President Trump followed the traditional value.
Traditional.
Yeah, and fight for the people.
Fights for the people.
Yes, so that's why I fight for the people.
You fight for the people too.
Yeah.
As long as you get out in time for traffic.
Yeah, you can't hold something right in your heart. You need to stand up.
When you sit around and don't pay for your food and don't work for it, what happens is your brain inside, we were created to work for our food. You can't sit around and get free money and be happy. It feels good to provide for your family. And that's why we have divided families right now. And so anyways, I don't know if that was the question, but it's heartbreaking.
I'm not inspired by a certain Viking enthusiast.
Have you been answering that question a lot today?
Yeah.
Can I try on your hat by any chance? Why do you think they're not getting access to those rights?
There's two groups, there's two teams in this country, and if people haven't seen it by now, they're not going to see it, but no matter what I say. They're on the wrong team, in my opinion, so you don't get it.
Who do you think is in charge of this country?
Very, very rich, powerful people that aren't in this town right now.
You don't think any of them live in D.C.?
They may visit every once in a while, but no.
Do you think Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are in charge of this country?
Absolutely not.
What makes you think that?
Well, it's been my opinion for a long time. The President of the United States is a role. It's a role. The President of the United States, in my opinion, doesn't determine what the price of gas is every day. How much power can you possibly have? It's a government service position.
So Linwood, what are you here to do today?
I was here to support the effort to get fair trials for those folks who have been charged with invading the Capitol or whatever they want to call it.
Do you miss President Trump?
I miss him a lot. I miss him a lot, and I'm looking forward to 2024 when we will re-elect him the right way.
Why are you here today? What are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about us losing our rights as Americans, which should never ever happen. We should have never gave them the inch because they take the whole yard. They forget that we're the government and they work for us. When people say to me, oh, the government, hello, you're the government, let's take it back. And arresting those people, I was here January 6th. There was a lot of bullshit. It didn't happen the way the press has depicted it or the way the speaker has depicted it. And anyone that's arrested without due process, this is America. It cannot happen. We cannot let it happen. We cannot stand for it. It's the same thing with the vaccine and the non-vaccine. Get the fuck out of here.
How do you feel about them making us take the vaccine and go inside?
Fuck you. I'm not coming inside. There's a park. I'll come with a picnic table here and bring my own food. You don't want my money?
Yeah.
I go with cash. I don't like credit cards.
Yeah.
So you don't want my cash? I don't give a shit. I'll spend it where someone else will enjoy it, like in Orlando, Disney World.
Yeah, come to Disney World in Orlando. That's right. Hey. Are you planning on getting the vaccine?
This bull has his tits. The vaccine doesn't work. It's ineffective. I got it because people kept bugging me, especially my family. Oh, you need to get the vaccine. We have the vaccine. So I got the Pfizer vaccine because most of my family members have the Pfizer vaccine. I got it. Nothing changed. But at least no one can tell me, well, you shouldn't. Well, now they're telling me you need to stop saying bad things about the. Why? I got it. It doesn't work. This bull has his tits, and that's what I tell everybody. I told my boss that, and he was like, what did you say? I said, This bull has his tits because the company I work for.
I'm glad you have your tits, man.
Thank you.
There are many heroes, great heroes of fame. We look to the past and remember their names. Now stand up, my friends, we'll continue the fight. It's up to us now to turn darkness to light.
Just me? I liked it.
Thank you.
Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep fighting, never give up. Okay?
It ain't no difference between a Republican and a Democrat.
And that's what the people got to
say.
say.
That's exactly what the fuck I got to say.
If you want one to wear during colder weather,